Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. I've posted a few videos today, so you're hopefully not too fed up with me, but I had so much news to share with you all. So as we just wait for, hey Jack, how you doing, buddy? So just waiting for people to join on, and then we're gonna get Geoff on here in a moment. Hopefully you'll send me a request. I've got a little bit of a cough, so excuse me if I cough during this. There's Geoff. Right, join. Geoff, just send me a friend request, or I'm going to send you one actually. Hold on a minute, you'll see it at the bottom of your screen. Dentfix. There we go, you should see that.
So we're just going to wait for Geoff to join us. Now, look, little precursor. Geoff from Dentfix and Dentfix have kindly offered a first, second, and third prize tonight. Hey, there we go.
You hear me?
Yeah, perfect. Can you hear me all right? You okay? Can you hear me okay?
Can't hear you.
Oh, well, we can hear you. How about now?
Oh.
Modern technology.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's okay. No, we're all good. So this is Geoff. Geoff's the marketing director for Dentfix Equipment in the States. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Got so many questions for you. Just also to let the guys know that have just joined us, if you haven't sent your questions in, you need to do that if you want a chance to win one of the 3 goodies that Dentfix have kindly put up for this one. We've never had a giveaway at the end of the show, but so there's always a first time for everything. And I think you're going to choose the best questions, aren't you? And then just we'll award the prizes to whoever it is. Right. So Geoff, let's get on with this. Give us a little bit of introduction about yourself, how you got into the business, and how you got to where you are now.
Okay, sounds good. I have my bachelor's degree in business management, influence and marketing. My very first job was more on the mechanic side. I worked for a company called Motorvac.
Right.
We did fluid exchanges and stuff like that. I took the job because they were in a week going to go to SEMA. So I was like, all right, that's a good little way for me to get into SEMA, because at the time it was only for people in the trade. So ever since that first SEMA Apex, I've been hooked. I love the industry, and after I left Motorvac, I came to Dentfix. And I love this side of the industry. Body shop side is so exciting. Something that I have found later in life I have true passion for. I might be a painter. I've been doing a lot of research into the paint side of things,
Okay.
and it's something that it's something I would like to do if I wasn't in marketing.
Well, I mean, just going back a couple of steps there about SEMA. SEMA seems to be the holy grail. Whenever you hear someone in the business has been there, it's like SEMA is the place to be. Really got to get there, and yeah, one day I hope to get it.
If you're into cars, you need to go, because if you're into cars, in anything automotive, that's the place to go. I think the first company I worked for, I had to sneak away just for a couple hours just to go walk the halls and check out all the stuff, because it is the mecca of just anything automotive.
Yeah, because TJ from Island Customs Concepts, he met you there, and you guys had a good catch up there. He told me.
No, that was when he came up to the booth, I could tell that he was super excited, and it was so awesome to meet him because he's such a passionate individual. He actually knew who Max was. He's the founder of our company, and he wanted to take a picture with him. So yeah, I love TJ. He's awesome.
So how long have you been working for Dentpix?
I'll say about 10 years now.
Oh, a fair while. And
Yeah.
so you're primarily marketing, or you sort of dabble in other stuff?
I am all that is marketing for Dentfix. I pretty much dabble in everything from websites to graphic design, strategy, implementation, from A to Z pretty much. But don't get me wrong, our owner's really involved with this company, and it's his baby, and we collaborate a lot together. But as far as the legwork, that's pretty much all myself.
So what does your average sort of day involve? So do you get into work really early? You sort of come in a bit later and stay later, or you early and late?
Good question. So I've been working from home for about 3 years now.
Right.
The company's the company's based in Los Angeles area. I live in San Diego.
Okay. Is that quite? My
So
geography is quite terrible in the States. So is that a big?
oh, that's okay. It's about 2 hours drive.
Okay. All right.
So with traffic, it could be 3 hours in LA sometimes. But yeah, so my commute's not too long. It's just down the hall. And ever since the COVID has hit, we just had a baby, so I've been juggling both work and taking care of my daughter.
So no RTAs
So
on the way to work then.
no. So my days, I always have to start off with my coffee.
Right.
I love my badass coffee, Kona blend. I try to get all the difficult stuff done first, and then it leads me to have a little bit more creative. I dabble in more of the creative stuff, such as graphic design or Instagram or whatnot.
Okay. And because I did have somebody sent me a question, they said that what's the best way to contact you guys? Is it through Instagram or is it through email? If like coming from the Europe.
Oh, from Europe. Okay. It'd be me probably. The Instagram, you can just reach out. That's always going to be me. You can also hit us up at info@dentfix.com.
Yeah.
I don't know if our phone, if it'd be best to call us. So probably email or Instagram.
Instagram. Okay. I think Instagram is becoming quite a popular way of communicating with people now as well.
We've had explosive growth on our Instagram over the last couple of years. I think that's the way that people choose to communicate, get their information.
But then you guys have also done, from what I've seen, I mean, I've probably been following you for just maybe 1 or 2 years. So over the last couple of years that you're talking about, but I can see that you've put a big drive on your social media side of things.
Exactly. We about 2 years ago wanted to get more involved in the community, get out there and see what people who use our tools have to say. I think it's been really successful. I don't try to do too much production on our Instagram page. I more want to show what the community feels about our brand and how they use our tools. I think it's we've had great response from everyone. We have a lot of very passionate techs who love our tools, so it makes my job a lot easier.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's probably the best way to sell a product, really, is have the end user promote it, because a salesman is a salesman at the end of the day, but the actual tech using it, you can't get a better sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, endorsement than that.
Endorsement. Yeah.
That's the word I wanted.
No, it's so true, and that's the beauty of social media is it gives them a platform to show other people, in the community how great our tools are. Just working with our, brand ambassadors over the, last couple of years, I've learned so much more about my equipment, because you can think about what you think the tool means to tech, but until you put it in their hand and they get to, use it every day, you don't really find out what the true purpose of that tool is.
Oh, I absolutely agree. And this is something I've said to certain manufacturers that have come and spoken to me, and they said, oh yeah, so this is our TDS, this is how it works. And that's all well and good in a really fancy spray booth and in your training center. But when you're actually out in the field using something, it doesn't always work that way.
Yep.
So
it doesn't always play out the way the engineer has, made the tool. Sometimes, there's unsuspected things that you can't think about until you're actually in the booth, like you said.
Yeah. So are you quite happy to sort of take feedback? So if somebody says, look, Geoff, I really don't like it. It's not working to this. I think you need to improve it like that. Do you take those all on board, or do you say, we know what we're doing? No, because honestly, that's like a serious question. There are certain companies that almost, they think they know better than, of course they spend millions of pounds and thousands of pounds or dollars in their R&D, but still, to listen to the end users could be quite a valuable piece of information.
No, it's invaluable. It's kind of what part of our program's about, is learning, what works and what doesn't work. Now, we can't always change
No.
everything that people suggest, but I mean, if they have a good idea, is a good idea. It doesn't matter where it comes from. If it's going to improve the tool and the user experience, let's do it.
Because Jerry's just popped up now from Luxury Car Repair. I chatted to him a few weeks back, top bloke. He says,
Top
top
bloke.
bloke, yeah. I call the Maxi the moneymaker. Now, I'm not sure. I probably know what the Maxi is, but just remind me.
Okay, the Maxi is like our Halo product. It's kind of like what we're known for. It's a steel dent puller.
Okay.
So
I've
yeah,
seen
so it
that.
has like yes. So it's named after our founder Max Spitznagel. It basically welds on either a weld rod or some wiggle wire or some sort of pulling device so that you can get the steel, pull the dent out of the steel. They call it the money maker because of all the time it saves. So, compared to, what is slated as the amount of time to repair, it can shorten it so that, they get the repair done quicker.
I think I've seen like Jerry and Jack using it, and it's got almost like a D handle, doesn't it, with a bar on the end. Just touch it, twist it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. It welds, you can pull, and you just twist right off. So as opposed to like pins where you're sitting there welding each one, you got to go back, pull each one, and then grind it down. This is just one fluid motion. And then on top of that, you can add the wiggle wire. You can also do weld keys,
Right.
Weld pull keys.
Yeah.
So that opens up a whole bunch of opportunities as well.
And that system, that is only for steel, or is that crossover onto aluminium as well?
That particular unit is just steel.
Just steel. Okay.
We do have aluminum, kind of like a stud puller kind of type of thing, but we don't have one that has that type of handle where you can just weld on, twist, pull off.
Right.
But we do have aluminum. We have Alu Spot and Alu Arc aluminum pullers.
I'm sure somebody will pop up in a minute with a comment on one of those, no doubt. And then, can you hear me all right? Because we've got a bit of feedback there. Oh, I think.
What was that?
No, can you all right to hear me? I can hear a little bit of feedback. I'm not sure if that's.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. There's a plane going over.
Oh, is that I was wondering what that was. How very rude.
Sorry, I'm in my garage.
Yeah, don't worry.
But
I was just going to talk to you once we're on tools. I mean, we're kind of gone off my questions now. We've sidetracked onto tools. So I've also been looking at your because I do a lot of plastic welding. So I love plastic welding. It's like an absolute passion of mine. That and UV. What is it that makes your plastic welding tool special? So if you were to come to me and say, Wayne, ours is the best, why would yours be the best? No, because it's fair, isn't it?
No, that's a very fair question. I think for us and what we try to do with all of our tools is just make them very simple to use. So you don't have to sit there and dial it into exactly to, all these different, inputs. You just basically, dial it up or down. So the simplicity of use is probably a big thing for us. Our units also have a smaller footprint. So they can go easy, move around the shop quite easily.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're still simple to use it. Like I even use it. A lot of the videos that you see, that's me doing some of the welding, which is kind of, it's fun. Like you said, like once you learn how to do it, it's a really, leisurely type activity because, it's not like metal and stuff where you're just banging and it's like making a lot of noise. It's like a finesse type thing.
It is, yeah. It is quite relaxing and rewarding. So what in particular does yours? Yours comes with a hot stapler. Is it nitrogen as well?
So we have basically three models. We have one that's bottle fed unit, so you have to supply your own nitrogen tank, and then we also have a nitrogen generator unit, that's the one to go to. It's really cool because it's also got a nitrogen port on the side, so you can run your air tools off of it.
Yep.
That lower moisture, and then it's also got a water filter on there, so you don't have as much moisture in your tools as you do with shop air.
Right. So because I've got a nitrogen welder as well, so and so it probably works the same way as though, but I can't have I don't have the port on the side. Well, actually I do, but I just haven't plugged it in. So.
I don't know which one you need to talk about, but the one that we have, it's a cool little option to have it just right there on the unit.
Yeah. Um, and I see that Fergie Trex says he likes the breakaway staples that you do as well. So I'm guessing.
Yes, the breakaway staples are awesome. So they're notched so that when you submerge them into the plastic, you just have to wiggle them back and forth and they pop off.
Pop off, yeah. That's because I remember the old days where you had a plier. In fact, I I I used to sell the staples. I used to sell. Well,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Actually, how many years is it? This is probably about like maybe about 6 years ago when hot stapling became like a really big thing. Even possibly a little bit longer than that. It was an Italian model. I imported an Italian model into the UK and I started selling it. It's called a Punto Plasta, like a yellow one. Really good piece of kit, but nobody had heard of stapling in the hot stapling or plastic welding like that. So it was like, that was the thing to have. And I sold a kit to somebody, and he then he said, "Oh yeah, this kit's really great, but I've got a problem." And so he then took me a picture where he'd gone with the pliers to snip the staple off. He'd snipped it, and they're sprung, aren't they? So if you don't hold the end of the staple, it'll just go anywhere, that metal. And literally, it had gone up and wedged itself into his eyebrow. And he had sent me this screenshot of this. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. We shouldn't really laugh about health and safety, but it's
Yeah.
just the fact that he thought to send me the picture of the staple stuck in the. So yeah, I said, well,
You gotta wear your safety glasses,
yeah,
right?
safety glasses definitely, or keep your finger on there. Or now you've got the pre-cut ones, which are fine, the wiggle safe ones.
Yeah.
Right, back to my question then.
Okay.
So we sort of discussed your average day. You're just sort of marketing and getting things, chatting to people and sorting. Do you get involved in the orders at all?
In the orders?
Orders, yeah. In taking any orders and
No, we have a customer service department in Los Angeles that takes care of most of that. I do facilitate, if people need to purchase our equipment, I can get them in contact with our reps or distributors.
yeah.
But I do run the website, so yeah.
So that's pretty full
So
time.
that's the closest I get to sales. But all of our main customers are through our distributor base, and we're lucky enough to have a very good distributor partner program. Everyone is real supportive of the brand and goes out and represents us fully in the field.
That's good. I've got a question here from, well, in fact, I'll let you do this unless you don't feel confident enough. So from Ireland, TJ, which is really good because we were just talking about nitrogen welders. So you've got the conventional sort of hot air welders, like the Steinels, hot air guns. There's various other ones, a couple of gas models, but then you've also got the nitrogen ones, which you and I have. So what do you want to explain to the people what the difference between nitrogen welding and hot air welding is? Or would you?
I believe it's like based on the type of plastic is a big determining factor. But my understanding is the nitrogen produces a much better weld, and then it uses the gas to control the weld, so it keeps it on the workplace.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll just embellish on that a little bit. So with the nitrogen, this is nitrogen it is still a hot air weld, but what you've got is you've got a clean heat coming onto the plastic, and so instead of it smoking and actually burning the plastic, it's heating it up. It's not putting oxygen into the weld, so you're not getting any oxygen trapped between the new plastic that you're welding on there and the old plastic, creating a much stronger bond. And if you've seen in some of my videos, you will have seen that when I'm welding with the nitrogen air welder, there's no smoke that comes off because it's not burning the plastic. Whereas when I weld with a sort of a heat iron or another welding tool, you will see it actually burning the plastic. And so that interferes with the molecule makeup of the plastic. I hope that explains that for those who don't understand it. It can be a little bit more in depth than that. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you on the.
No, I like your explanation.
Yeah, I didn't mean it's only because TJ asked, and I thought, well, maybe you and I might understand it, but possibly other people don't. So Carotech, he was actually the one who asked me what the best way to get hold of you was. So Carotech, if you missed that, the best way is just contact Geoff on Instagram, and he'll respond to you because he says he needs some Dentfix stuff in Germany. So that
right now. As of right now, we don't have any German distributors, but we're always open to new distributors, and we're definitely looking towards that side of the pond. So, stay tuned. That's all I can say.
Yeah, you'd have the whole power issue though, wouldn't you? Changing that all over.
That is a big issue. Regulations, as far as, like you have to get a lot of the machines certified.
Yeah.
That could be a hurdle. But then also, like, one of the biggest things reason why people buy Dentfix equipment is the service. So if we can't give you the whole Dentfix experience, it's hard for us to offer it just halfway. Like, people can call us up, they got a problem, we'll fix it, get you back up and running. It's hard to do it when it's 4 days in the mail to send a part, and who knows if they even can repair it properly.
Well, exactly. You've kind of lost what you've built your company's been renowned for, really. So I totally understand that you want somebody sort of there and be able to handle it. Now, this is, in the situation we're living in, the pandemic that's going on, has COVID affected your business? Have you seen any effect on your business from it?
Other than the way at the beginning, maybe there was a little bit of adjustment period because we didn't, we have a lot of reps out in the field, and they meet with all our customers, so we had to adjust to that just like everyone else, and utilize Zoom and whatnot. But to be honest, we're doing really good. We have a lot of customers ordering more than last year, so I can't complain, and I really think that the body shop business is going to come back around. So I hope it eventually trickles down to everybody.
I wonder if that's a combination of something like your marketing. Your marketing is really good. You're always there, really supportive. You're following people, you're liking people, etc. But also, I think with the way that COVID has sort of made a lot of us reassess businesses, the way that we're doing our repairs, and maybe being smarter and looking at investing in slightly better equipment to be able to work smarter. I mean, possibly all of those things have helped out. Would you say?
I would totally agree with that. Just like the nitrogen welder, like you said, it produces a better repair. Now it's a considerable price difference between an airless welder and a nitrogen welder. But I mean, I think once you make the initial investment, you produce better repairs, so you can get better work. Like the Maxi. The Maxi is one of those things that, like, some people say might be a little too pricey for me, but after you do a couple of jobs, it's almost paid for itself. So you got to kind of think about a business mindset and kind of think of the long run. But yeah, I don't know. Where was I going with that?
We were just talking about how people sort of are reevaluating their business and sort of investing in better products because they want to improve the services that they're offering.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's all right. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's quite a lot to sort of take on board, and I really appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, no problem. But I mean, I think that some of the businesses who have embraced Instagram and social media in general have seen an uptick just because they're able to, have their brand exposed to people that weren't through the traditional media. So I think body shops can embrace that as well. Reaching out to their customers through social media.
Oh yeah, definitely. But talking about social media, this actually brings us on to one of the questions that was sent in, and this is actually by TJ again. Do you have any product demo videos or any training videos available for the public? If so, where can I find them? That's quite a good question, really.
Great question. There's two places you can go. On our website, there's a video tab up at the top. That's probably where we have a good portion of all our videos. But then we also have a YouTube channel, which I am vowing to put more effort into in this year, because I mean that's where it is. I think we've talked about it before. In the past, is just the training issue is just really, really hard in this industry. The knowledge is so kept behind paywalls.
Oh yeah.
And you know what I mean? And I don't think that's right. So we have an effort to provide more knowledge to our customer base, and just show them how you can get the most out of each and every piece of equipment that Dentfix offers.
Yeah, so I look forward to seeing that. I mean, I've got a bit on YouTube, and I know YouTube is a huge platform for several people and done really well, but I kind of struggle with it. I find that it's an easier way to find the videos, definitely, because you could do your sort of libraries and scroll through. You can do a search where you can't do that on Instagram, and I'm hoping one day Instagram will improve this slightly. So, I mean, you can have the tabs there, but at least if you've got it on your website, so anybody wants some videos, head to the Dentpix website, and they're there. That's great.
And please subscribe to us on YouTube.
Sorry?
And subscribe to us on
Yeah.
YouTube.
So, how many followers have you got on YouTube?
Not so much. I think we're just under 1,000. So
1,000's good.
We're working.
That's like 500 more than me, so that's cool. Don't worry about that. That's what we need. I'm just reading some of these comments as they pop up. So I'm just reading one of my questions here.
Okay.
This might be a little bit tricky for you to answer this question because, well, no, actually you're using them, so you should be able to. If you were to choose which one of your tools would you say is your two favorite tools? And it could be something really small, or it could be like the big Maxi. That's easy. Is it?
The Maxi. Yeah, the Maxi. That is like one of my favorite tools. I just got back from doing a little demo for the first time with a brand ambassador, and I love that thing. Like I've done it on test panels all the time. I do a lot of video with it, but I was actually working on the car, and it's just fun to do. I don't know how to explain it. It's like having little sticky fingers, and you can just like pull the metal, and it's a blast. And the versatility, just to be able to tackle any dent on a car that don't have access to the back panel is just very impressive, at least for me. Second one, we had the light bulb we're giving away.
Okay,
that's something. Yeah,
the LED.
That's something I could use.
Which one?
Yeah.
LED, I can't remember the digits of it. All right, there we go.
LED 935.
Right, so that's the first prize. So the first prize is that torch and the cap. Yay.
Yep.
All right.
So this thing's super bright. I love it, and it's got a magnetic base. I use it around the house all the time for minor, like changing the oil or working underneath the hood. But yeah, those are like probably the two that just pop out of my head. Obviously, there's a ton more, but those are the two that I kind of gravitate towards.
Well, Jerry put up there the bodyline tool. He likes that one. So
see, now that's what I love. I love that one too. It's very simple, but yet very capable tool. I just don't use it as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's definitely a crowd pleaser for anyone who's ever picked up a Dentfix piece of equipment. They love that thing.
Yeah, and that is available. I'm sure I have seen it on Amazon. Is it Amazon?
Yeah, that's probably if you're international, that's probably the best place to find it. Yeah. They do have some people that ship out there. You can always try and contact us, and we can help you out too.
Okay, thank you for that. What would you say is what do you think you love the most about your job?
What I love most about my job, kind of the freedom to be able to explore, kind of like what I think is the next new trend. Our brand ambassador program was something I was kind of just given the keys to and just kind of do whatever you want type thing. And I think we've had some great success. We have some exciting stuff coming up, which I don't want to talk about just yet.
Oh, that was going to be one of my questions towards the end there. Right, have you got any inside gossip you could tell? But obviously no. I won't. No, look, when you've got something, Geoff, come back on the show and we'll do something. Okay. Keep it.
Okay, because I got some stuff. I got some stuff in the works right now that I don't want to say until we got it fully developed. But like I said, we're really focusing on YouTube and our brand ambassador program. So keep tuned to the channel.
All right, then let's do it. Maybe come back and we'll do a little reveal or something. That'll be fun.
I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah, a little 30 minutes reveal slot or something.
I would love that.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
I would really think that you guys would like that. So.
Okay, so you've mentioned your brand ambassadors a few times, and probably some guys out there would probably wonder sort of how would they become a brand ambassador. So what's the sort of things that you look at when you view someone's profile or someone's page or the way they work? Is there a couple of key points that stand out to you? Because this could be helpful to guys and girls out there.
Yeah, no, I would love to divulge all what I look for, but obviously there's some competitors on here that might be watching.
Yeah.
But what I look for the most is staying focused on the trade. I think the accounts that are focused on one or two things, body shop or paint related, I think those are really attractive to brands. You can have your business profile, you can have a personal profile, but it's kind of hard sometimes if they're mixed. What else?
I understand that actually, because I don't tend to mix my personal life, apart from my running and maybe the odd thing that I've cooked, which I'm impressed that I've cooked. That's the only time you sort of see that there. Otherwise, it is literally just business and trying to help other people. So yeah, I can sort of.
I like how you do it because it's tasteful and you keep everything in the stories because it's about yourself and you don't go overboard with the running. And I think cooking is actually something that everyone can appreciate in this industry because I've seen that on everyone's page. I love to cook too. I'm more of a barbecue grill type guy, but I think you need to add a bit of personality in there.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that don't have anything personal in there. I'm just saying that if it's a ton of posts about your personal life, and then there's one body shop one. I don't think that's necessarily going to be attractive to brands.
No, yeah. So that's a good tip for everyone out there, definitely. So back to the barbecuing now, because now you've sort of piqued my interest there. What's your perfect dish then? So if I came round to Geoff's for the weekend for a nice barbie, what would you be cooking up for me?
Do you like steak?
I like anything. I'll eat anything.
Okay. I'm a big New York guy. I love the New York steak strip. I think that's the best, medium rare. I kind of have like a little day in advance prep, so I keep it. I like salt it the day before, keep it in the fridge, and it's really key to like leave it out right before you're about to cook, so it gets to room temperature.
Yep.
And then I just keep it 5 minutes on one side, 5 minutes on the other, let it sit for 5 minutes. Lots of salt too. You got to have salt.
So you're just salting it. You're not no sort of olive oil or anything like that. Just salt.
Just salt. Like that's what I do. So I salt it heavily the night before. Keep it in the fridge. Then like maybe an hour or two before I put it on the grill. I let it get to room temperature. Salt it again. Dry it off because you want to make sure that there's no moisture on it, and just throw it 5 minutes aside at like medium heat or however you grill. Let it sit for 5 minutes, and then I like to, grill up some asparagus, maybe some potatoes, just simple stuff. But if I was going crazy, I would like to, I like doing pizzas from scratch. That's kind of like my little thing I like to do on the weekend. I don't have a pizza oven, but maybe one day.
So do you do look, now we've totally gone off track from cars here. We're on the barbecue. So when you do your pizzas, are you one of these guys who've got like a pizza stone, you chuck it into your barbie, so you've got a Weber or something like that? Or is it an oven, into the oven in the house?
Yeah, this is just in the oven in the house. I live in an apartment, so we can't have any open flame. Otherwise, I would love I love charcoal. Like I miss my Weber so much. I've been using propane. It's just not the same.
Oh no, come on. Propane's not too bad.
It's okay. It's not the worst. I'm just saying, like, it's all about charcoal, though. That's for me, at least.
Yeah, it's the smell, isn't it? It's the smell that comes off, and just like, I totally agree.
That's a nice texture, flavor to it,
Yeah. I think there's a couple of guys probably drooling now. I know Jerry says, "What time's dinner?" So, and Jack is saying, "Damn, that he's hungry." That was always going to happen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So let's go to some of our questions from some of the people who kindly sent them in. There was a really good response to this. I think everyone wants to win something.
Cool. Let's get some stuff.
Yeah. So you need to remember these questions, or we'll have to go over them again. So we've done one of Todd's. We did one of Caro's, which was how do we get in touch with you to buy stuff if they're in Europe. You've got another one from Todd here, or TJ, which was, has Instagram, this is a really good question. This is a good question. I should have thought of this one. Has Instagram, well, we kind of covered it. Has Instagram helped grow your business, and what other tools do you use for marketing?
How has it grown our business? I think because, before we started this brand ambassador program on Instagram, we were really reliant on, print media.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's just, I don't necessarily think it's as effective as it used to be. You can't track it, so you don't really know if it's getting into the hands of the end user, if they're getting your message. So for us, it's just been being able to, track it and see what's working and what's not. We don't want to keep delivering messages that people are falling on deaf ears. So we want something that's very interactive. We want to make sure that people are engaged. Otherwise, it's, back to the drawing board.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Some of the tools, there's so many tools out there nowadays. Before it was like, you'd have you need a graphic artist or something and then you need a web developer, and then you need something else. Now there's so many marketing packages together, and you can turn, just if you know how to type and just do general click and drag stuff, you can make very powerful presentations for Instagram stories.
Yeah.
And it's kind of impressive. Just working with people like Jack and Jerry, they're very skilled body men, but at the same time they put out very impressive marketing material.
I know, they're on it.
And
those boys are definitely on fire.
Right? They were probably the first two people that I work with, and they drive me just as much as I think that I drive them. We kind of bounce ideas off each other. I give them maybe a little bit of my marketing knowledge, and they give me a ton of their body shop information. So, I think that's one of the keys to success on this thing, is working with a lot of people and being open, not guarding your secrets. I think that's counterproductive. So.
Oh, definitely. So once we're being open, if anybody's out there, a good program which you can get on, you can get an app, but the app's a bit restricted. But if you got a laptop or a MacBook or something like that, it's Canva, C-A-N-V-A. You can do so much with that. You can do little short clips, little videos, just some fancy bits on your pictures. It's a really good program. I use that one. I like it.
No, I've used Canva for presentations. They're amazing. Is it still free? Because I think that it's...
Well, the basic is like everything. Basic is free. To have the pro is like £10 a month, but it just depends what you get back. What you put, it's like the tools, really. You spend a bit of money. As long as you use it, you're going to make that money back. If you spend the money and you're not going to use it, forget it. You may as well just have the free one for sure. Okay, I'm just watching the time. Geoff, time is flying away. All right. Here's a really intelligent question, and this might be quite taxing for you. This one comes from Jack. It's, how tall is Geoff?
How tall is Geoff? Oh, I'm 6'4".
6'4". He did let that stay. He said you were tall, but he put that in there, so I've got to ask the question. Yes.
Well, he was making fun of me because I don't know if you saw my video. I was putting some influencer stickers on some lifts, on the bend pack lifts, and he's like, "Did you use a step stool for that?" And I'm like, "No, I just."
I missed that one. No, I didn't see that. No, I missed that. That's gone down quite well, that question. Yeah. And then, so Specky, yes, it's Canva, the way you spelled it. So Lucky 13, we've kind of covered this. What did you do before Dentfix? So you worked for the fluid sort of hydraulics company, wasn't it? That is right.
Yeah, it was called Motorvac.
That's it.
And then so they did fluid exchanges, and they had a little bit of detergent sometimes that they put into there. Our claim to fame was the carbon clean, which removed the carbon inside of the engine, the carbon buildup. Nowadays, it's not so much needed with the advanced fuels and whatnot. So that company got bought out by another company, and then they happened to be a Canadian firm that bought us. So I was out of work for a bit, and I qualified for kind of like a re-education. Like, it was like the Cadillac of unemployment.
Right.
So it was really cool. So I was able to retrain, and that's when I went and got I took Adobe certification, which is like Photoshop,
Yeah.
After stuff like that, and also Microsoft Office certification. So I was working on getting that done, and then Kylie, who's from P10, Professional Tool and Equipment News, said that she had a customer who needed a marketing guy, and the rest is history, as they say. And I started at Dentfix, and then it was kind of funny because just like at the same company, right when I got hired, we were going to go to SEMA in a week. So I got to go to SEMA again, and that was like, I'm like, all right,
I'm
this
seeing
is
a
what I
trend
want to
here,
do.
Geoff.
Yeah, I basically only accept positions if you're going to SEMA in a week.
Well, that's a good shout. So here's another one, and I might pronounce this wrong, but I think it's per and crash repairs. How much has bodywork changed over the years, and what's in store for the future?
Great question. The way that the company was started in 1979 was Max. He was a mechanic, but he did, back in the day, there weren't necessarily dedicated body shops like that, or they would just do both. He was not happy with the way that they were doing body pulling, where you would drill a hole into the panel, put something behind it, pull it out, and then you fill over the hole. So that's kind of how our first piece of equipment got created was a stud gun. So everyone's familiar with the DF1 stud gun. That's kind of what we're known for in the industry. Some people call it the Spitznagel, which was his last name. But then right after that, it was the Maxi, and the Maxi was light years compared to, drilling holes in panels. In the future, that is a great question.
That probably goes back to that other bit where we're not going to talk about it. Would you say?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can just kind of give an idea of like what I really think that, more people should get involved with plastic repair. I know, I think obviously that's a material that's being used more and more. Carbon fiber. I don't know. I don't think you can really repair that, but that would be very interesting to see if that ever, that nut's ever cracked. But yeah, that's about as far. I don't. It all depends on auto manufacturers. What materials are they going to use?
Yeah. Well, exactly. It's you just need to sort of flex with it, really. So
Exactly.
Caro text just come up here as well, and somebody did ask a question about that. I'm just going to check if it's it. And that question was from Mr. Double Dubelv. He says
Mr. Double V.
Double V. Sorry. Okay. Double V. Does Dentfix have any glue pulling repair tools? Because glue pulling seems to be quite a big thing now.
Yes, we do. We have the Ultra Ding Massager, which is smaller pads and a squeeze puller,
Okay.
as well as some shaping tools. That's good for hail damage, little minor dings and dents. But then we also have the glue puller extreme, the DFGPX, and that's more heavy duty glue pulling. You can hook it up to like an air ram and stuff like that. So it's meant for moving more metal and saving more of the E-coat, and then you maybe come back with the Maxi and kind of fine tune everything.
Great. So that answers that question. If I'm rushing you, Geoff, it's only because I don't want us to, we've only got an hour and we've got like 18 minutes left and we've got to choose a winner. So,
wow.
Yeah, I know, it's just flown by. Pasha Dent Hunter. And one more question. Oh, he sent me a DM on that. I'm going to have to come back to that one. Okay. But he sent another one here. Striving is the ideal quality or selling quality. Striving for the ideal quality. So his question is, I'm doing a bit of translation here. Striving, so is what's more important, striving for the ideal or selling quality? So I'm guessing that's probably what we touched on earlier, where you provide a great service, a backup service, plus the quality of the tools as well. So the two go side by side.
Yes, and we support our pieces of equipment. So the last thing we want is for you to have a piece of our equipment and it's in the corner of your shop, and every time you look at it, you're like, dang it, Dentfix, like that's not what we do. So if we strive for customer service, having quality tools is definitely something that we strive for as well. But you can't please everyone all the time. So we'd rather have, just take it back than have someone not look at our tool each time and think negatively. So we always strive to make the best tools possible.
Yeah.
At a price that's, affordable for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer. Great answer. A question from Guns and Hoses. He's actually on the show on Thursday. Shake.
All right.
I haven't seen much women in the industry as panel beaters. What does Dentfix have to say to encourage newcomers, especially women, as panel beaters?
Great question.
That is a good question.
Now we have been working with female brand ambassadors. I think that he hit on a very good point. I think that more, the industry as a whole needs more text. I think women should, if they're interested, should check it out. I think there's a lot of places that I've seen that have all female body shops, and I think that's really powerful. And I think that more places should, have that more. There should be more of it in the industry, basically.
I think it probably is happening now. I think because, especially when, like, again, coming back to the community in here, I think a lot more people are supportive, whereas before it probably was a lot harder. And I know, look, don't get me wrong, I know there's like Hillary from Ink and Iron or Auto Barbie. I know she constantly has arguments with blokes because they have something to criticize about. But she's a pretty tough cookie and she gives back as much as she gets. But I think, Hannah, Lucky Paint 13. Lucky 13 paint shop. I mean, the hours that she puts in, 11 o'clock at night, she's still painting a car. It's phenomenal. Right.
I've noticed, like, it seems to be that there are more females in this industry in Canada than the United States. And that just might be skewed just from Instagram.
No, maybe. But I've noticed that.
But I just like all the female, accounts that I've spoken with are all usually from Canada, so I don't know if that has something to be said. But
I think there's quite a few painters in Europe, from what I see, but more body work and sort of like the whole kind of thing. Canada has definitely got a higher proportion. I've noticed that, yeah. Unless it's just they're more open about coming onto social media. So we've done that one. Specky. So this was one of the ones you actually saw. I sent over to you. Was what's your favorite color and what's the biggest mistake you've made and the story? Now I want to hear the story, but I also want us to choose a winner. And I just, so if I'm pushing you along, I really don't mean to. We might have to do another one of these.
I don't really have, my favorite shade is black. I love black. That's like my go-to. I have a lot of black clothes. I wear black all the time. That's my thing. And then what was the question? If you messed up?
Yeah, sort of like a big mess up.
Spelling errors on product packaging is something that I wake up in the middle of the night and it's like, oh crap, I forgot to put a period at the end of something. Or like, I spelled something wrong. That's something, because it gets printed so many times, or like an ad or something. That's something that is, to me, is unacceptable, and it's probably one of my biggest pet peeves.
But that happens. I put a post up yesterday saying that tomorrow's show was actually happening in January. So I'd gone back in time. Forget Back to the Future, I'd gone back in time.
I wish you did.
So Carl Healy, he asks, this is very similar to you. This is one that we've got over here. He says, have you heard of the PowerTech Miracle system?
I have.
Yeah. Okay. We've covered.
We don't really comment on.
No, that's fine. It's the question. I did say to him, without ask the question. Obviously, there are other brands out there, and that's we can't.
We're not the only one.
Yeah, exactly. We can't ignore that because that would be a bit silly. But it's wise to know what else is out there. Doesn't mean it's not as good.
Yeah,
as yours.
No, I hear you, and sometimes some brands have better pieces of equipment that will fit your needs than others. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's best to be well informed, and I'm so glad that we have platforms like Instagram to find out this type of information, because before it was just whoever advertised in the magazines. Now it's anybody can put out their information.
Yeah, and I think, what we see here is you don't, I think this is more now as well, is you don't just buy a piece of equipment. You buy what's behind that, the people, the philosophy. And if and people are willing, that's what they're buying, aren't they? Really, yeah, that's what I look for. I don't.
That's basically what branding is the whole, user experience, the whole, feeling when you purchase a piece of equipment. And that's what I was trying to say, is like we really focus on customer user experience.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely come through on this. I'm just going to check if there's any other questions here. One from Marty C Turbo. What has been the most helpful innovation for you in recent years? You're probably going to say the Maxi, are you?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of growth, from the Maxi. Something that we were really proud of is we were doing aluminum repair in 2006. So that was something that really skyrocketed our company when we were part of the F-150 program when they rolled it out in all aluminum. That was really big for us. And I think the next big thing for us is glue repair. I think that's kind of where the industry is going, and I think it's very exciting to see the results of glue pulling.
Yeah, that has definitely come in leaps and bounds for sure. Okay, so what shall we do? How shall we do this? Here we go, folks. Shall I read you back?
I forgot all the questions.
Okay,
They're all good.
So shall I read you back each question, and then if you got a pen and paper there? No.
I'm done.
All right. Okay, so you're going to have to try and remember this in your head. All right.
Okay.
This is going to be interesting. All right. So we got TJ's got two questions. One was about the demo videos and where can you find them. Then his other one was, has Instagram helped grow the business? So those are TJ's. Okay. We've got, how tall is Geoff? Okay, this is the way we're going to do it. This is for the third prize. Yeah? Okay, this is third prize. Okay. So we're done TJ's. Jax, how tall is Geoff? Lucky Paint 13, what did you do before Dentfix? Per and crash repairs, how much has bodywork changed over the years, and what's in store for the future? Pasha Dent Hunter, he sent a couple of questions, which was that striving one about striving and that for the ideal and selling quality. Caro Tech was about what's the best way to contact you. You had Specky on the color of your car and have you ever made a mistake? You had Carl about the PowerTech machine, just another machine on the market.
Right. I like the mistake one.
The mistake one? So that's the third prize?
Yeah. Yeah, is that cool?
That's cool. So Specky the painter, you've won third prize. Congratulations, well done. Right, this is the second prize now, and this one, just remind me what second prize was. So that
second prize was shunting pliers.
That's it. So the third prize was the bodyline tool, and now we're talking about the pliers. So do you need me to repeat those all again to you? There's a couple more here.
No, I like the one about the videos. I thought that was pretty cool, TJ's. Where do you find the videos?
Yeah, so that's the one you want to go for?
Let's see. Yeah.
TJ, congratulations, you've won the pliers. And then there were a couple here on the actual page as well, which I did.
Do you want to pick the number one?
No, because I don't know whether because I need to stay unbiased. So
okay, what was Carl Tech's one?
Caro Tech was about how's the best way to get in contact with you, and then there was a couple actually on the actual page here, what Marty C, which was what has been the most helpful innovation for recent years, or Guns and Hoses, about the women in business.
Let's do that one. Guns and Hoses.
Guns. Do you know what? Guns and Hoses have an absolute run of it. He's won like 3 prizes in a row. But You've
Guns and
chosen,
hoses on fire.
you've chosen it. So Guns and Hoses, congratulations, you've won the first prize. So all of you guys, so Specky, TJ, Guns and Hoses, if you could please DM Geoff with your details and he'll sort you all out. Geoff, before we run out of time, I have two questions for you. My two questions are, do you have any spare time? And if you do and you're not barbecuing, what do you do?
Man, ever since I had our daughter, I have had barely to no spare time. But if I do, I play soccer. I'm into snowboarding. I love snowboarding. I just got a hoverboard, which no man in his early 40s should have. But I've been the cousins got one, so I'm like I got to be part like the cousins. So I've been hoverboarding. And I just like going to the beach. I am a total beachhead. Grew up in Southern California almost my whole life, so I just love chilling at the beach.
You can't beat the beach. I love the beach. And my last question to you is, if you have could you leave us? Do you have a tip you can leave us all with?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone who's in this industry understands the power of being humble, never being too big for small jobs. I think I've.
Oh, we lost you just there.
Can you hear me? I'm just saying that you should never be too humble. Always try new things. Always say yes to everything. There's been a lot of times where I didn't know how to do a project or whatsoever, and I just happened to say yes to it. Stumble my way through it, and I became a better person on the end. So I think never be afraid to try something new, and never be afraid to do something that you might think is beneath you.
That's fantastic. I think that I absolutely agree, and totally. So I would like to say thank you very much, Geoff, for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for your kind offer and doing that little sort of giveaway for the prizes, questions that you like the most. That was quite fun and different. I look forward to seeing more products from you, and yeah, just stay in touch. And if you do that reveal, please just let me know when we'll open up a night for it.
I would love to. I mean, I literally was just doing it like a couple days ago. So until I got it all done and all worked out, I'll come back on and then we'll announce
You
it.
come back on, and
well, thank you so
we'll
much.
do a special night for it.
Thank you so much for having me. What's that?
We'll do a special night.
All right, that sounds good. Well, thank you so much for having me on, Wayne, and have fun.
It was nice to meet you. I'm going to take you off now. Bye-bye, my friend.
All right, bye-bye.
So that was Geoff. Thank you so much for him, and thank you very much to Dentfix Equipment for putting up those prizes. Tomorrow night, we have a few limited spaces. We're reviewing the 3M performance spray gun that's just come out. If you want to join us, there's an opportunity to win one of these guns, but you can only be in a chance to win the gun if you come on and watch the whole review. So it's not going to be offered anywhere else. It's like a one-time hit. You need to be there on the show. Like I said, there's a few tickets left to join us, so please do. On Thursday, I'm actually speaking to Guns and Hoses, and we're going to ask him how come he's been such a lucky bugger and won all these prizes recently. He's had an absolute run of it. So Shake, look forward to speaking to you on Thursday. And that's it. Have a lovely good night, guys. I'm going to try and say this. I've got to go. And I wish you all the best. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.